So here are Garmin's Vector 3S power pedals. Now I've held off getting into power for quite a long time. I've always trained to heart rate, and even though lots of good cyclists that I know have told me to get into power, I've kind of held back and resisted, partly because power meters have been quite complicated and expensive up to now, and B, I've kind of felt like I could train reasonably well to heart rate. My heart rate is very consistent and predictable, and I use it quite well, I think, to train and gauge how much power I'm using when I'm with clients, for example, and have to go at a certain speed. But these pedals really grab me because they look like normal pedals. They're only slightly heavier than the normal pedals, and just very simple and easy, and you can swap them between bikes. And so finally I've taken the plunge, and I'm in. So here they are, little weigh-in compared to Dura-Race pedals. Now, set of Dura-Race, these are the 9100s, so they're a bit lighter than the 9000s, and they're 233 grams. The Garmin's are 328, so it's kind of 95 grams or so of weight penalty, which I don't really like, but there we go. I can live with it. And what's interesting is the Garmin 3S means that only one of these pedals actually measures the power. This is the cheaper version, which is €599, which seems adequate to me. I don't need to pay 1,000 to have double-sided. So we've got this pedal is 160, and the pedal, the dumb pedal, is 167. So what's kind of slightly odd is that the dumb pedal is actually slightly heavier, which kind of surprises me a little bit. But there we go. The other thing is that you have to use, I normally use Shimano cleats, obviously, and these make you use the Look ones. Hopefully that won't feel too different or too odd. I used to use these, so and the float is pretty similar to Shimano Blues. So setting them up is really very simple. Just grease them a little bit. You can't use an Allen key, you have to use a pedal spanner. Just pinch them up tight, and what they're doing here is the axles are quite long, so if they do protrude through the crank arm, then you can use these washers to space the pedal back out again, which I don't. My S-Works cranks are fine, they don't stick out. So let's get them mounted and get them out on the road and see how well they work. So here we are out on the open road testing the Garmin 3S power pedals, and what better place to do that than Sa Calobra in Mallorca on a gorgeous sunny day, about 22 degrees, not much wind, and we are about to head down here, which if I can, there's so many bikes around today, if I can film this without getting knocked over by a bus or a bike, it'd be good. Here we go. That's where we're going down for lunch. And yeah, so we've got the 3-second power here. That's a great little thing to have. It's a novelty for me. I must admit I do instinctively look to my heart rate first to check how hard I'm going, and I haven't delved too far into it, so I'm going to set up a power page where I've got power for heart rate and power for last lap and that kind of thing, but it's still early days yet. But it's nice to have the power there. And yeah, you know, it's kind of confirmed what I thought, which is that my FTP is about 300 watts, and I can knock out about 1,000 or so in a very short sprint. So that's good to have that kind of confirmed. These are the 3S pedals, so I don't have both pedals giving power. I've got no balance, things like that. But one's enough for the moment. I figured I can add the other one later if need be. The cleats, I was a bit worried about changing from Dura-Race cleats to the Look ones, but it all feels pretty similar really. No great difference there. That's all fine. Actually, they're a little bit easier to clip out, which is quite nice. Yeah, so it's all good so far, and I'm not going to be making much power going down here, but going back up, hopefully we'll be doing something half decent, so we shall see.
Believe me, I could live without you, but I really don't want to. Believe me, I could love without you, but I really don't need to. 'Cause leaving is the hardest thing to do. But being left is harder, yes it's true. But you're coming back. How do I get back to you?
So the only slight problem with having the power read out is that after a hard week's riding and a heavy lunch, it's not showing quite as much as you would like. But what's quite good is that I've got the 10-second and 30-second power averages here, which smooth out all the peaks and troughs, which is quite handy. Right, so in summary, these pedals have been very easy to fit, very easy to calibrate and use. The data is all there on the Garmin, easy to access, easy to set up. Great, useful stuff. Would I say it's essential? Not really. I mean, if you are a budding racer and you're into your training and you're wanting to improve and look at all your stats and stuff like that, then undoubtedly, yeah, this is a useful tool. But when you get to be a bit of an oldie like me and you're not really racing anymore, then it's just kind of like just a nice bonus feature to have a bit of extra data to look into and compare yourself on the same climb from one day to the next, and look at your heart, compare with your heart rate, and see how you're doing on a particular day. Yeah, it's all useful, interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm pleased with these. I will report back as time goes on to see if there's any faults develop, how reliable they are, how long the batteries last, but so far so good.